The emergence and rapid spread of the coronavirus, COVID-19, unleashed a global crisis, with profound consequences for economies across the world. China, as the epicenter of the outbreak, bore the initial brunt of the pandemic's economic impact. The effects were devastating, as the virus spread rapidly within China and forced the country to implement stringent measures to contain its transmission. China's economy, which had been a global powerhouse and driver of growth, experienced a sharp contraction as a result of the pandemic. The virus struck at the heart of China's manufacturing sector, disrupting supply chains and bringing production to a standstill. Factories were forced to shut down, leading to a significant decline in output and exacerbating the economic downturn. The service industry, including tourism, hospitality, and retail, also suffered heavily. Travel restrictions, lockdown measures, and fear of the virus among consumers led to a drastic reduction in domestic and international tourism. Restaurants, hotels, and entertainment venues faced closures, resulting in a substantial loss of jobs and revenue. Retail sales plummeted as people stayed home and focused on essential purchases only. The decline in economic activity in China had far-reaching implications for the global economy. China, as the world's second-largest economy, plays a crucial role in international trade and supply chains. The disruptions caused by the pandemic rippled through the global economy, affecting businesses and industries worldwide. Many countries reliant on China as a manufacturing hub faced shortages of essential components and raw materials, leading to production delays and increased costs. Moreover, the slowdown in China's economic growth had a negative impact on global demand. As Chinese consumers reduced spending and businesses faced financial constraints, the demand for goods and services from other countries decreased. This resulted in reduced export opportunities and hindered economic growth for nations heavily reliant on trade with China. The financial markets also experienced heightened volatility as investors reacted to the uncertainties brought about by the pandemic. Stock markets worldwide experienced significant fluctuations, reflecting the concerns over the economic implications of the virus and its impact on corporate earnings and global supply chains. In conclusion, the coronavirus outbreak dealt a severe blow to China's economy, causing disruptions in various sectors and sending shockwaves through the global economy. The repercussions of the pandemic, from supply chain disruptions to reduced consumer spending, continue to be felt across nations. As countries navigate the path to recovery, it is crucial to understand the lessons learned from this crisis and work towards building resilience and preparedness for future challenges. The outbreak of the coronavirus, COVID-19, had a profound impact on China's economy, sending shockwaves throughout the world and resulting in a global economic slowdown. The combination of the virus's rapid spread and the measures taken to contain it severely disrupted various sectors of China's economy, ultimately affecting the global economic landscape. China's economy, known for its robust growth and as a major contributor to global GDP, was hit hard by the pandemic. The virus spread rapidly within the country, leading to widespread infections and loss of life. To control the outbreak, China implemented strict measures, including lockdowns, travel restrictions, and the temporary closure of businesses. These measures resulted in a significant decline in economic activity and revenue losses for many industries. The impact of the virus on China's economy was felt across multiple sectors. Industries heavily reliant on human interaction, such as tourism, hospitality, and retail, were severely affected. With travel restrictions and people staying at home to prevent the virus's spread, tourism plummeted, hotels remained empty, and retail sales sharply declined. Businesses in these sectors faced closures, job losses, and financial hardships. Manufacturing, another key pillar of China's economy, experienced disruptions due to the virus. Factory closures, labor shortages, and disruptions in the supply chain caused production delays and reduced output. This had a cascading effect on global supply chains, as China is a major exporter of goods and components. Companies worldwide faced shortages of essential materials and struggled to meet consumer demand, leading to a global slowdown in manufacturing and trade. China's economic downturn had significant implications for the global economy. As one of the largest trading nations, reduced demand from China impacted countries heavily reliant on exporting goods to the Chinese market. Additionally, disruptions in global supply chains originating from China affected industries worldwide. Companies faced challenges in sourcing components, leading to delays in production and increased costs. The global financial markets also experienced heightened volatility due to the economic fallout in China. Investor sentiment was affected by the uncertainties surrounding the pandemic's impact on economic growth, corporate earnings, and consumer spending. Stock markets worldwide experienced fluctuations, reflecting the concerns and fears about the long-term consequences of the virus on the global economy. The coronavirus pandemic dealt a severe blow to China's economy, causing disruptions across various sectors and slowing down the global economy. The ripple effects of China's economic downturn were felt worldwide, affecting trade, supply chains, and investor confidence. As countries navigate the path to recovery, international collaboration, resilience, and proactive measures will be crucial in rebuilding and strengthening the global economy in a post-pandemic world. How the coronavirus affected China's economy. The outbreak of the coronavirus, COVID-19, had a devastating impact on China's economy, causing disruptions that reverberated across the globe. Delves into the various aspects of how the virus affected China's economy, including the economic consequences, industries most affected, decline in GDP and employment rates, and disruption of supply chains. The economic impact of the coronavirus in China was profound. As the virus spread rapidly within the country, the government implemented strict measures to contain its transmission. This included widespread lockdowns, travel restrictions, and the temporary closure of businesses. These measures resulted in a significant decline in economic activity as companies faced disruptions and reduced revenue. Several industries were hit particularly hard by the pandemic. The tourism and hospitality sector suffered a severe blow as travel restrictions and fear of the virus kept people at home. Hotels remained empty, tourist attractions saw a sharp decline in visitors, and airlines faced massive losses due to canceled flights. The retail industry also faced challenges as consumer spending decreased, with people focusing on essential purchases only. Manufacturing, a crucial sector of China's economy, experienced disruptions due to factory closures, labor shortages, and disruptions in the global supply chain. The decline in economic activity had a direct impact on China's gross domestic product, GDP, and employment rates. With reduced production and demand, China experienced a significant drop in GDP growth. Businesses, especially in the heavily affected sectors, were forced to lay off workers, leading to increased unemployment rates and financial hardships for individuals and families. Furthermore, the disruption of supply chains originating in China had far-reaching consequences. China plays a pivotal role in global supply chains, being a major exporter of goods and components. Factory closures and transportation restrictions disrupted the flow of goods, affecting industries worldwide. Many companies faced shortages of essential materials and components, leading to production delays and increased costs. The economic consequences within China had a ripple effect on the global economy. China is the world's second-largest economy and a major player in international trade. Reduced economic activity in China resulted in decreased demand for goods and services from other countries. Disrupted supply chains originating from China affected industries worldwide, leading to shortages and production delays. In conclusion, the coronavirus pandemic had a profound impact on China's economy, causing disruptions across various sectors and sending shockwaves through the global economy. The economic consequences were evident in declining GDP growth, increased unemployment rates, and disrupted supply chains. As countries work towards recovery, it is crucial to understand the lessons learned from this crisis and develop strategies to build resilience and mitigate the impact of future challenges. The economic repercussions of the coronavirus, COVID-19, pandemic extended far beyond China's borders. As the virus spread rapidly within the country, China's economy, the world's second largest, suffered a severe blow, leading to a global economic slowdown. The interconnectedness of the global economy meant that China's economic downturn had far-reaching implications for countries across the world. One of the key areas impacted by China's economic slowdown was global trade. China is a major player in international trade, both as an importer and exporter. The pandemic disrupted supply chains, leading to a reduction in trade volumes. Factory closures and transportation restrictions within China meant that many countries faced shortages of goods and components, affecting their manufacturing sectors. Reduced demand from China, coupled with disrupted supply chains, led to a decline in global trade, impacting businesses and economies worldwide. Investment flows were also significantly affected by China's economic downturn. China has been a magnet for foreign direct investment, FDI, for years, attracting multinational corporations seeking access to its large consumer market and manufacturing capabilities. However, the pandemic's economic fallout resulted in a decline in investments in China. Uncertainty and financial constraints compelled businesses to reassess their investment strategies, leading to reduced FDI flows. This decline in investment had repercussions on employment and economic growth in many countries, particularly those with strong ties to China. The disruption of supply chains originating in China had a cascading effect on industries worldwide. China plays a critical role as a manufacturing hub, producing a wide range of goods and components that are essential for global industries. The closure of factories and reduced production capacity led to shortages, delayed deliveries, and increased costs for companies in various sectors. Industries such as automotive, electronics, and pharmaceuticals, heavily reliant on Chinese manufacturing, experienced significant disruptions, hampering their operations and affecting global supply chains. The global stock markets also experienced heightened volatility due to China's economic slowdown. Investor sentiment was influenced by the uncertainties surrounding the pandemic's impact on economic growth. News of declining economic indicators in China triggered sell-offs and market downturns globally. Stock market fluctuations reflected the fears and concerns about the long-term implications of the pandemic on corporate earnings, consumer spending, and global economic stability. China's economic downturn caused by the coronavirus pandemic had a substantial global impact. The interconnectedness of the global economy meant that disruptions within China's economy rippled across borders, affecting trade, investments, supply chains, and financial markets worldwide. As countries strive to recover and rebuild their economies, close attention must be paid to the lessons learned from this crisis. Enhancing resilience, diversifying supply chains, and fostering economic cooperation will be crucial in mitigating the adverse effects of future crises and ensuring a more robust global economy. The emergence of the coronavirus, COVID-19, had a profound impact on China's economy, causing a significant decline in economic activity. The virus spread rapidly within the country, leading to strict measures such as lockdowns, travel restrictions, and business closures to curb its transmission. These measures had severe consequences for China's economy, resulting in disruptions across various sectors. One of the primary effects of the virus was the disruption of production and supply chains. Factory closures, labor shortages, and transportation restrictions disrupted the manufacturing sector, leading to reduced output and production delays. Many companies faced challenges in sourcing raw materials and components, affecting their ability to meet customer demand. The decline in manufacturing activity had a cascading effect on other sectors and global supply chains. The service industry, including tourism, hospitality, and retail, also suffered heavily. Travel restrictions and fear of the virus among consumers led to a significant decline in domestic and international tourism. Hotels, restaurants, and entertainment venues faced closures, resulting in a substantial loss of jobs and revenue. Retail sales plummeted as people stayed home and focused on essential purchases only. The economic impact of the virus was evident in China's gross domestic product, GDP, growth. The decline in economic activity caused by the pandemic led to a sharp contraction in China's GDP. With reduced production, lower consumer spending, and disrupted supply chains, the overall economic performance of the country was severely affected. Furthermore, the economic downturn in China had ripple effects on the global economy. China is a major player in international trade and supply chains. Disruptions within China's economy led to shortages of goods and components, impacting businesses and industries worldwide. Many countries reliant on China as a manufacturing hub faced challenges in sourcing essential materials, leading to production delays and increased costs. The financial markets also experienced heightened volatility as investors reacted to the uncertainties brought about by the pandemic. Stock markets worldwide experienced significant fluctuations, reflecting concerns over the economic implications of the virus and its impact on corporate earnings and global supply chains. In conclusion, the coronavirus outbreak had a profound economic impact on China, leading to a significant decline in economic activity. The effects were felt across sectors, from manufacturing to services, and had global ramifications. As countries work towards recovery, it is crucial to analyze the lessons learned from this crisis and implement measures to build resilience and adapt to future challenges.